Welcome to the 2021 Memorial Day Virtual Special. This is the second one we actually put together for the memorial, and it's actually a pleasure to work with everybody there to learn more about Memorial Day and our veterans. And it's one of those holidays, there's some sadness to it, and then of course it's appreciation, the way we really feel about Memorial Day and our fallen veterans and people in the military. And Memorial Day is such a significant reason in our life. Back in, I think, 1868, when General John Logan went ahead and said, I declare Decoration Day. Decoration Day was to put flowers on reefs and some of our fallen soldiers and to respect our military. And it's taken about 103 years for it to actually be a national holiday. Back in 1971, it was actually considered as a national holiday in the month of May. They set up for the last Monday of the month of May every year to go ahead and have Memorial Day. And it's one of those holidays that people reflect at home and have a barbecue and have a dinner. No one's handing out gifts. No one's doing anything like that. It's a great day. And I think for Americans to really reflect on how we appreciate our veterans and all military services. Sit back and enjoy the show. Our opening prayer will be done by Pastor Bill McCorkindale.
Thank you, Mike. Greetings to all. I want to thank you for joining us today for our 2021 Memorial Day tribute. As chaplain of the United Veterans Council of Santa Clara County and a U.S. Navy Vietnam veteran, it is my privilege to offer today's invocation. Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we give thanks to you today for who you are and for our nation, which you have brought forth and you have sustained. Thank you for loving us so much. Thank you for establishing our nation and for sustaining it through all the wars we have endured. Thank you for all you have done for us. Today, Lord, we gather as a nation with a great resolve to remember and honor those who have paid the ultimate price in serving our nation. For, Lord, they are heroes. Throughout our nation's history, they have answered the call to arms. Today, we honor those who have fought bravely to defend our country from its enemies and to keep our nation safe. So, Lord, as we gather on this Memorial Day, may you stir our hearts and minds with the highest sense of gratitude and thankfulness for all of those who have served, those who have fought, and those who have died for our great nation. We remember our Gold Star families today and the great loss and pain they have suffered. We ask that you would comfort them, for Lord, only you can. Let us be constantly aware every day of their extreme sacrifice. Grant that we may dedicate ourselves afresh and anew to the task of daily embracing the freedom that these brave Americans have fought for, suffered for, and have died for. That the pursuit of liberty and justice will live in the hearts of all who call the United States of America their home. Let your light always guide us, especially during these unprecedented times we are living in today. To the glory of your holy name we pray. Amen. Thank you.
It's good to be with you as we together honor our fallen heroes. So grateful to United Veterans Council and Oak Hill for keeping alive this really important tradition that brings us together. Perhaps we're separate physically, but we're together in spirit as we honor the one founding principle and passion that brings us together every year at this time. And that is to honor those who have given, who have sacrificed, who have done so much to protect our freedoms, to enable all of us to continue to live extraordinary lives in this amazing country that we call home. Thank you to all the families, and our hearts are with you as you remember your loved ones who have died in defense of our country and in defense of our freedom. God bless, and please stay healthy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up, take off your hats. We're honored to have Airman First Class Ashley Arrington.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Detail. Action! Up! Magazine of black ammunition. Load! Ready! Aim! Fire! Ready! Aim! Fire! Ready! Aim! Fire! Freeze it! Out! Order! Up! Ready! Two! Pile right! Rough!
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, ready? Go. Colors. I'll get it. Two. Okay.
Hi, I'm California State Senator Dave Cortese, and I'd like to thank the United Veterans Council of Santa Clara County for hosting our Heroes Remembered on Memorial Day, and to all the volunteers, Mike Hennessy, Adele, Estelle, and everyone else involved with this production. Thank you so much for the dedication of your time. Memorial Day commemorates the men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice to defend our country. Honoring our heroes and remembering the bravery and courage behind their steps toward freedom is a gift this country will never forget. Our fallen heroes demonstrated values of pride and dedication, qualities that were necessary to keep our country safe and free. As we continue paying homage to our fallen brothers and sisters, we must also honor their families and keep them in our prayers. On this important occasion, we will forever celebrate the sacrifices that came before us and those who nobly served. Lastly, to our veterans, active duty service members, guardsmen, and reservists, your patriotism and initiative is also recognized and celebrated. It was a pleasure participating today, and thank you for taking the time to gather on this special occasion. God bless America.
As the commander of the Coast Guard's 11th District, which serves the people of California and the southwestern United States, it's an honor for me to represent the Coast Guard for the Memorial Day ceremony, to remember the sacrifices of our fallen service members. There's a strong veterans community here in the Bay Area, and events like this mean a great deal to both the military community and the nation. Even though we are not marching in parades or attending ceremonies in person this year, the men and women of the Coast Guard are paying tribute to the heroes who came before us. This year, we're honoring them by continuing to perform our duties, keeping America safe and secure. We're intercepting drug smugglers at sea to keep dangerous narcotics out of the country and to disrupt the criminal networks that bring instability to Central and South America. We're safeguarding our shipping ports and waterways to ensure the flow of maritime commerce, an activity that supports $4.6 trillion in economic activity and 23 million American jobs. We're protecting our nation's natural resources by enforcing environmental laws and regulations, and we stand ready to save lives at sea so that others may live and return home to their loved ones. We perform these duties in honor of those who never came home, those who put the needs of their country before their own needs, those who made the ultimate sacrifice. So today we remember these brave men and women by showing our appreciation and taking a moment to reflect on their selfless dedication. As we live our lives during the coronavirus pandemic, we're grateful for their sacrifices and all that it has given us. Let's ensure these heroes are never forgotten. Before I go any further, I'd like to thank all of the veterans and current military service members online today: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force. And I also acknowledge and thank those in our civilian services who have gone into harm's way and who have sacrificed as well. I especially thank the families of those who have served. They are the true unsung heroes, the backbone of any service member, the stability and rock at home, and they take on the enormous task of solely handling family during deployment. I often think back to the old adage about the turtle on the fence post. All you really know about that turtle is that it had help getting up on the fence post. Well, we're all turtles on a fence post in some degree, and we could not have climbed this far without our families. They did not sign on the dotted line or take an oath, but nonetheless, they are sacrificed and serving this great nation. There is no doubt about the importance of today. Events like this in towns and cities across the United States are maintaining the tradition of President Eisenhower's proclamation when he tasked future generations, saying, "To ensure proper and widespread observance of this anniversary, all veterans organizations, and the entire citizenry will wish to join hands in this common purpose." Though we cannot actually join hands, we are maintaining our tradition of honoring those who made the ultimate sacrifice to preserve our freedoms. We all know someone, a friend, a relative, a coworker, even ourselves, who has had a loved one in the combat zone over the last century. I still marvel at the fact that the United States has an all-volunteer military. Every single woman and man on active duty today volunteered to join. In light of the threats faced by our nation today, their willingness to volunteer is that much more significant. I think that it is also our responsibility to teach our children about the selfless sacrifice of serving our nation. We must help younger generations understand that committing to your country and fighting for freedom of your fellow citizens is among the most noble of endeavors. Hold up our veteran service to the young people of today. Use their memory to show the power of freedom and their stories to tell just how precious the rights are that we enjoy. In that light, we must highlight the sacrifice of all of our service women and men. Even in the military, we were not and are not insulated from the inequality that has plagued American society. But today, we have one of the most diverse, inclusive, and effective fighting forces in the world. The service men and women who came before us gave their lives for not only freedom, but also equality. We must honor them by advancing equality in the service and out. Even as a boy, Abraham Lincoln often recalled that the men of Lexington and Valley Forge during the Revolutionary War struggled for something far beyond the ordinary, their painstaking steps to victory spurred on by a unique desire for an uncommon purpose, independence and freedom. Later as president, when Lincoln saw the fabric of our nation being torn apart by the Civil War, placing the nation's very character into question, he led another generation who would bleed and die for that extraordinary ideal of one nation united with liberty and justice for all. Lincoln understood that by their sacrifice, the men who fought and died powerfully recast the state of our country into one indivisible nation. To honor this notion, Lincoln proclaimed on the battlefield of Gettysburg that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom. Memorial Day is a very special holiday for our country. Originally called Decoration Day, it began officially in 1868 and served as an occasion for relatives and grateful citizens to decorate the graves of those who died in the service of our country. The tradition was born as a result of the Civil War, a time of great acrimony between fellow Americans. But in that year and in the years that followed the end of the war, all Americans observed the day and were brought together again in their shared desire to honor their heroes. I don't believe anyone has ever captured the essence of Memorial Day better than General James A. Garfield, who himself would be assassinated soon after as a sitting president. Speaking at the first official nationwide celebration of Memorial Day at Arlington National Cemetery, General Garfield said, "We do not know one promise these men made, one pledge they gave, one word they spoke, but we do know they summed up and perfected by one supreme act the virtues of men and citizens. For love of country they accepted death, and thus resolved all doubts and made immortal their patriotism and virtue." As the years have passed, with the constant motion and technological advancements of the 21st century, it can be difficult to stop and appreciate what today is for. The sad truth is that, for many, Memorial Day conjures up images of bargains, pool openings, and cookouts. Even I admit that when my staff and I review my calendar and I see Memorial Day, my thoughts sometimes go to the promise of a long weekend. But I know everyone online today knows the true meaning of Memorial Day. Memorial Day is simple. It's a day designed to preserve the memory of 1.8 million women and men since 1775, whom we have lost in the wars and conflicts of the past and of today. But understanding the idea and actually getting people to take time out of their lives to remember it, those are two very different things. It is our duty as citizens of the United States of America to honor these brave men and women who give their lives so that we might live in a free and prosperous nation. We must not only do it on Memorial Day, but every day. Many Americans struggle to connect with Memorial Day because they have not served in the military. Many Americans do not have any relatives or even neighbors who have served now or perhaps have ever served in the military. In fact, many Americans today have never even met a soldier. So I encourage you on this Memorial Day to share something about yourself or a service member who means something to you. Share your connection to their service and sacrifice so that someone else will now have that connection. In the end, the sacrifices by members of all of our armed services and the freedoms they preserved are vital to our survival as a nation. Certainly, those who gave their lives in Afghanistan and Iraq are foremost in our minds, but let's not forget those who make up the greatest generation of World War II, the heroes of the Korean War, and the service members who served so valiantly in Vietnam. There is now a memorial for each of these conflicts in Washington, D.C., but let us not forget to honor those who died in the Civil War, World War I, the First Gulf War, Somalia, Grenada, Beirut, Panama, and so many other locations where American service members have given their lives. Each of us must find ways to ensure that our heroes' legacies endure. We live in a soundbite culture where major events often only last for one news cycle and are too soon forgotten or replaced by another breaking story. Our brave women and men deserve a much more enduring tribute. Their lives were rich, their dreams just as real as ours. Their love of country and family is the same as those that are sitting here today. Their strength, courage, and valiant history deserves to be told and retold. Find a way in your life, at home, at work, wherever, to keep their memories alive. I thank you again for the opportunity to speak today and to allow me to show my respect to the heroes of many generations of Americans. We have witnessed again and again the powerful force of the idea of freedom and its determination to become reality, even where there seems to be no hope. We have our freedoms in this country today because of the courage of the veterans we honor. Freedom grows because they lived and died knowing that it is the most precious gift we have, and they were willing to give their all to keep it in our hands. As I sign off today, I ask you to reach out and find ways that you can be that hand on the shoulder, that hand that will comfort, encourage, and strengthen our military men and women wherever they are stationed, as they protect and work for freedom throughout the world. God bless our service members. God bless all of you, and God bless America. Semper Paratus.
Today's Prisoner of War Missing in Action honors our former POWs in memory of almost 82,000 service members that are still missing. A special tribute is also given today for Vietnam Veterans American Chapter 201 namesake, Darwin J. Thomas, who as a pilot flying off the aircraft carrier USS Oriskany was lost over North Vietnam on October 14, 1966. Originally listed as missing in action, he is now listed as killed, body not recovered. Secretary Treasurer of Vietnam Vets 201, Steve Thompson, who while in Vietnam with a Marine reconnaissance unit was the recipient of a Silver Star, he will read the missing man table script. He will be assisted by Dennis Fogarty, who is a board member of Chapter 201 VVA.
At times and places, American servicemen and servicewomen have given their lives. Many of them have been held under hostile circumstances against their will and are listed yet as prisoners of war. Others have disappeared to be listed as missing in action. Either way, they have not returned to those who love them. May we be constant in our effort to determine their fate. May we never forget their sacrifices and do our duty towards them by keeping them in our hearts until that day when they may return. Before you sits a table reserved as a place of honor for our missing comrades in arms. It is set for one and represents a place that is solemnly held for those that have not yet returned from war. This table is our way of symbolizing the fact that members of our profession of arms are missing from our midst. Each item on the table is symbolic of the trials of these missing veterans. The table set for one is small, symbolizing the frailty of one prisoner alone against his oppressors. The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their intentions to respond to their country's call to arms. The chair is empty, symbolizing that they are not here. We remember them. A slice of lemon is on the plate to remind us of their bitter fate, and a pinch of salt is symbolic of the family's tears as they wait. The glass is inverted to symbolize that they cannot toast with us today. We remember them. The single red rose displayed in a vase reminds us of the families and loved ones of our comrades in arms who keep the faith awaiting their return. The red ribbon tied so prominently on the vase is reminiscent of the red ribbon worn upon the lapel and breasts of thousands who bear witness to their unyielding determination to demand a proper accounting of our missing. We remember them. I bring to this place of honor an unblemished piece of steel, reminding us that our support of every undertaking exists as a hidden framework of support. Our brothers and sisters' names are now enrolled with the many whose names are known only to God as having faithful citizen soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen, and who are written upon our hearts. We remember them. On behalf of our nation who call we answered, we placed the flag as the emblem of our country, and with it, we dedicate ourselves once more to be witnessed for truth and freedom, the highest ideals of our country. We remember them. On behalf of Chapter 201 and associates, we place the emblem of the Vietnam Veterans of America, which signifies a bond formed years ago, a bond of common experiences which cannot be broken, and in remembrance of Chapter 201 namesake, Darwin J. Thomas, who was lost over North Vietnam in 1966 and not been recovered. We remember them. So long as we live, they too shall live, for they are part of us. And when we answer the final call, we know that they will fulfill their duty and greet us with words of compassion, friendship, peace, and love. Welcome home.
Thank you to the United Veterans Council of Santa Clara County for putting together this virtual Memorial Day video and for everything you do to serve those who serve our country. The United States of America is indebted to all military veterans, but this Memorial Day, we specifically remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice in defending our freedom and our democracy. Our fallen service members came from all walks of life and every community across our country. We honor their sacrifice and their valor in defending American values of liberty and equality for all. They gave their lives to keep us free. To honor their sacrifice, we must also honor our country by respecting our Constitution in every way. On this day of remembrance, we must also recommit to providing veterans who've returned home with the care and services they need and deserve. Reflecting the toll the COVID-19 pandemic has taken on many veterans, the American Rescue Plan rightfully provided billions of dollars to the Veterans Health Administration and state veterans' homes so that veterans can continue to safely receive care during the pandemic. So, from our computers at home to the Veterans Memorial in San Jose to Arlington National Cemetery in Washington, D.C., I join Americans across the country in paying tribute to the fallen members of our armed services today and honoring their memories and thanking their families. Thank you.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairie to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Thank you for being here with us today on this Memorial Day of 2021. As a columnist for the Mercury News, like journalists throughout our nation, our rights as Americans to freedom of speech and freedom of the press are very important to me. Because of that, I am often humbled by the sacrifice made by the men and women of our armed forces in service to our country. I have been especially moved by the sacrifice of those from our San Jose community who entered service with the hope of improving their lives and the lives of their families. Our gratitude is eternal to them, and as you look out here at Oak Hill Memorial Park, at the flags surrounding us, and feel that emotion of their sacrifice, we know that it has not been in vain, and we know that our community was made stronger because of them. Thank you.
It is true that we are living in interesting, if not unprecedented times. In the past year alone, the United States has faced a global pandemic, an attack on our nation's capital, and civil unrest. But that is not who we are as a nation. For those who are looking for hope, inspiration, and a reason to believe that there are still heroes, need look no further than the rolling hills of Arlington National Cemetery. There, marked by simple white headstones that date back to the Civil War and as recent as the global war on terror, you will find the names of individuals who have paid the ultimate price for the freedoms we enjoy today. Men and women who sacrificed their lives so that generations of others may prosper. I think it's also important to remember that not all those who served in our nation's military were born in the United States. For example, my Uncle Frank, he was born in China, came to the U.S., served in the United States Army Air Corps during World War II. He understood that America was founded on the principles of freedom and equality for all those who chose to make this their home. Those who have served, regardless of origin, are Americans. They willingly sacrificed for the principles upon which our country was conceived. On this Memorial Day, let us strive to live up to the example set by those selfless patriots as we remember their sacrifice. Thank you all for taking time to honor them today.
On this Memorial Day, our country comes together to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice, giving their lives for our country. We're not just the beneficiaries of their bravery. We are the stewards of their sacrifice. As we celebrate Memorial Day, the thoughts and prayers of all Americans are with the families who lost a loved one. We pray for a safe return for our soldiers in Afghanistan who still remain in harm's way. Our resolve must be to let their service renew our mission, to build a future worthy of their sacrifice. That begins with taking care of those who have defended our country in the past, those who serve today, and their families. My commitment is to ensure that anyone who has worn a uniform to defend our country has the health services, the opportunities, and the care they have certainly earned. It's also our collective responsibility to care for our Gold Star families, to whom we owe a great, great debt that we can really never fully repay. No other group of Americans has stood stronger and braver for our democracy than our troops and our veterans. Today, we celebrate, honor, and remember these courageous and faithful men and women, and we thank God for blessing our country by them.
Good morning. Today we continue a tradition that began in 1868 when Army General John Logan signed the order that established Memorial Day. To quote General Logan, "Let no ravages of time testify to the present or the coming generations that we as a people have forgotten the cost of a free and undivided republic." We have honored this promise faithfully ever since, and this year, with our nation still at war, a new generation of heroes fighting and dying for freedom, and we do it again. The cost of which, Logan writes, is of course the loss of those who paid the ultimate sacrifice for their country. This is the hardest currency of all, one spent, never to be recouped, a debt we can never truly repay. And yet Memorial Day provides us with the opportunity, at the very least, to acknowledge that debt, to recognize their incredible sacrifice, and to recommit ourselves to making sure that it was spent and not in vain. Upon the graves of our war dead rests not only the memories of the pride of their valor past, but the hope and the vision of a better, more peaceful future. They gave their lives to guarantee the survival of the nation and the values we hold dear. For those who wear the military uniform, it is an immense privilege to be entrusted with the preservation of America's freedom. The courage of those who paid the ultimate sacrifice inspires and motivates those who face today's challenges. Please join me this day to pay respects and remembrance of thankful hearts for the deep and abiding debt we owe the fallen and their loved ones. Thank you.
Today I stand in the Veterans Memorial Rose Garden at VA Palo Alto Healthcare System, which is a standing tribute to all of the men and women who have served and for whom we've lost, either in service or later. As we pause this Memorial Day to honor veterans who have served our country and for whom we've lost, I remember individuals like Ralph Levenberg, who served in World War II, was a Bataan Death March survivor, POW, came back, had family, raised children, came back as a volunteer. Once we lost him just several years ago, I really reflected on the true impact that he had had on my life and the motivation that he provided for me when days were tough or they were long, or I was particularly challenged as just as someone here making my way through, and certainly as a director of a large healthcare system. What a wonderful individual he was, and the thousands of other veterans like him who have served our country. I hope you take this Memorial Day to think about the service and sacrifice of our patriots. I have the honor and privilege to serve veterans every day, so I have a daily reminder of that contribution and that sacrifice. I hope you take a moment and pause and thank them for their service and honor their memory. Thank you.
Greetings, friends, neighbors, and to my fellow soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and veterans. I am Otto Lee, Santa Clara County Supervisor for District 3. Memorial Day is extra special this year because thanks to all your efforts to follow the safety precautions, wearing masks, and getting vaccinated, we will finally be able to hug and kiss our loved ones to reflect and remember on this day. Our veterans community share the unique bond and experiences and truly understand the sacrifices that all our families give up to allow us to serve our country. And from Santa Clara County, we salute your service. The County Office of Veterans Services is dedicated to help our veterans through these challenging times, working with the VA to keep our heroes safe and healthy. Thanks to the support of the community, more than 3/4 of our county residents have already received the first dose of the vaccine. And this is why we need your help to get everyone we know who needs help to get vaccinated as well. We keep within our hearts the stories of all those who bravely served and those who gave it all in the service in defense of our freedoms. I hope you and your loved ones continue to stay safe, and we will never forget to pay respect to our fallen heroes.
My name is Maya Esparza. I'm the City Council member here in San Jose's District 7. I'm so honored to join you today as part of this virtual event as we remember the lives of those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. We reflect solemnly on the blessings that we enjoy, which rest upon the courage and selflessness of those who gave all. To those who have sacrificed their lives for our country, we owe them a debt that we can never repay. For some of us, these heroes may be family members that we've never known, whose memories are kept alive through our families, through stories passed down from generation to generation, through photo albums and family treasures. But for so many, these heroes are our brothers, our sisters, our fathers, our mothers, our children, and their absence is felt every single day. A loss that those of us who have not experienced cannot fathom. So today, as we remember and honor our fallen heroes, we also honor their families who carry the burden of their loved ones' sacrifice. And we, a grateful nation, thank you, and we dedicate ourselves to the ideals for which they gave their lives, to our democracy and enduring freedom for all.
Good morning. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for including my organization, Hunger at Home, in this wonderful celebration of our service men and women who had given their lives, their limbs, and their liberty for our nation and for our freedom. Our organization thinks that no one should go hungry. No one should go without food. And unfortunately, 1 in 4 service members and family members of service members are food insecure. We find that unacceptable. And especially on this day, when we're paying tribute to the men and women who have given everything for our freedom, we want to make sure that at the minimum, they have the basic needs that every human being deserves: shelter, food, and their freedom. So again, from our organization to all of the veterans, to all of the fallen members of the many different service branches, we want to thank you for including us and invite you to come to any event that Hunger at Home holds, and we will provide food, we will provide sustenance. Thank you again.
Hello, I am Warren Finch, President of Vietnam Vets of America, Chapter 201. Today we want to honor those who have given the ultimate sacrifice. There have been many men and women over the years who have paid this price. This year, the United Veterans Council of Santa Clara County is paying special respects to those lost during the Gulf War. These brave soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen were willing to serve their country in defending our freedom. They knew what the risks were, but they were still willing to go. In the words of Howard Osterkamp, C Company, 5th Regimental Combat Team in Korea, and popularized by the song by Billy Ray Cyrus, all gave some gave all. Today, we remember those who gave all. Thank you, and God bless you, and God bless America.
I'm John Swenson. I'm a retired Army. I'm very privileged to be here in San Jose, where we have wonderful veterans memorials that help us to remember the service of veterans. If we go to Campbell, we'll find a new veterans memorial there. Similarly, a beautiful memorial at Los Gatos, and also in Cupertino, where I work at De Anza College. Cupertino Veterans Memorial is focused on Afghanistan, the nation's first memorial to Afghanistan, and features Operation Red Wings. So we're here in the communities that celebrate veterans here in San Jose. We also have the Vietnam Boat People Museum at Kelly Park and Center Avenue. So this Veterans Day, if you can, go out and celebrate Veterans Day by remembering the service of our veterans at one of these wonderful places. Thank you.
It is my honor to join all of you today in paying tribute to the service women and men who fought for our country and in doing so lost their lives in battle, in other tragic circumstances abroad, or even when they returned home. To all of their families, we honor you today, along with the memories of your loved ones. Today, I'm thinking about my father, Captain Harvey Slater of the U.S. Army 27th Engineer Battalion. My dad served as a MASH unit surgeon in Vietnam in 1967 and 1968. He was awarded a Bronze Star Medal for his service. My dad returned to become a very successful surgeon and the director of a regional burn trauma center. He directed a residency program and mentored hundreds of young doctors over nearly 4 decades. But he also suffered from PTSD as well as respiratory issues as a result of his experience in Vietnam. And while I miss him, I think about his commitment to service, to his family, to his community, to medicine, and to his country. And today I wish for all of us pride in our memories, and I send an abundance of gratitude to those who served and to their families who supported that service. Be well.
Hello, I'm Rose Herrera, former San Jose Vice Mayor, Vice President of the United Veterans Council of Santa Clara County, and Air Force veteran, and I'm so honored to share a few thoughts with you on this Memorial Day 2021. We as a nation, as Americans, owe more than we can ever repay to the brave men and women who answered the call and died while serving in uniform. They are our true heroes. On Memorial Day, we stop our daily activities to reflect on their sacrifice for us. We remember these individuals who gave their all. not as faceless numbers, but as sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, loved ones, cherished ones, whose lives were cut short. We pay our respect to our fallen brothers and sisters, knowing that we could not be free today if it were not for their willingness to put their lives on the line. We are grateful that these Americans lived, because these courageous few have ensured a nation's freedom. These heroes left behind their loved ones, our Gold Star families, who remember every day of the year. For them, every day is Memorial Day. Today, we join with them and offer our sympathy, respect, gratitude, and simple acknowledgement of their supreme sacrifice, knowing that it is a debt that we can never repay. Especially this year, after surviving 2020, we reflect on the heroes who could not shelter in place, but put themselves in harm's way to save others. Some of those heroes wore our country's uniform, and some of them lost their lives. As 2021 brings hope and the dawn of a renewed human spirit, we remember and mourn all those heroes that we have lost in all wars. May we never forget them, always honor them, and strive to be worthy of their sacrifice. May God bless their souls. May God bless our Gold Star families. And may God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Good morning. We are here today in honor of and memory of the sacrifices of all who have served our country, killed in action, and those who have suffered the anguish for their lifetime due to their service in defense of our country. We are doing this through an annual fitting service and testimony of respect. As you look around, take a look at the stones that we see here in this field, just in this field, and see the age of the youngsters that gave their life for our freedoms and our liberties. It is that purpose we are gathered here today. We thank you for remembering our veterans, for their service, and for our freedom and liberties. All gave some, and some gave all.
Hello. Thank you for attending United Veterans Council of Santa Clara County sponsored Memorial Day event. My name is Joe Melsness, and I'm a retired Army soldier, having served the United States and still serving through mentoring young people as they enter the military. On this Memorial Day, I urge you to remember our fallen heroes. Brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, fathers and mothers, grandfathers and grandmothers, nieces and nephews, friends and neighbors, and citizens you have never met. In my 30 years in the Army, one of the most valued parts of serving was to be part of the true diversity of this nation, to serve with people from all walks of life, from every part of this country, and especially with so many military members who had just arrived in this country. Army soldiers who joined the military to attain their citizenship. In addition, to serve with underrepresented groups gave me the opportunity to understand our differences and to see how diversity makes us a stronger nation. It is our responsibility as citizens to remember our brave, fallen men and women, whether they died on foreign lands or after a lifetime in the uniform of the military. We should not forget the heroic men and women who gave their lives for our freedom. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sarah Cody. I'm the health officer here in the County of Santa Clara. This Memorial Day, I want to honor and thank our veterans who have served us and our community and our country during war and during peace. Over the last several months as we fight the COVID pandemic, I think all of us have gained a deeper appreciation for the sacrifices that our veterans have made as we have all served in various positions and done things, whether it be as simple as staying home to protect others, or working to serve the community, or caring for patients in a healthcare facility, or calming anxious family members. So thank you to all, and most importantly, thank you to our veterans who we honor this Memorial Day.
Good morning. I'm honored to be part of a ceremony that honors our heroes, grounded in the belief of respect, appreciation, and the acknowledgement of their sacrifices. Henceforth, this year's theme, Heroes Remembered. Memorial Day, as Decoration Day, gradually became known for originally honoring only those lost while fighting in the Civil War. But during World War I, the United States found itself embroiled in another major conflict, and the holiday evolved to commemorate American military personnel who died in all wars, including World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam, and the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Memorial Day was not officially recognized nationwide until 1970. With America deeply embroiled in the Vietnam War, ironically, Waterloo, New York was the official birthplace of the Memorial Day celebration, and that was celebrated on May 5th, 1866. You ask, why is that important? Simply stated, you can't determine and understand where you're going unless you appreciate where you've been. I think they call that wisdom. This nation continues to evolve for the betterment of all, based on where we've been responding to armed conflicts and civil disturbances. Over the years, our heroes' tactics and techniques have changed. Our battles today are fought house to house, street to street, and in some cases, our very own homes. We've become a mobile force that's agile to quickly move and counter the threat in advance of future attacks, or to immediately counter attack from the enemy. Our uniforms, equipment, and tactics has changed as well. We wear uniforms that increase the protection of our warriors, such as body armor to reduce serious injury from small arms fire and improvised explosive devices. We use enhanced technology to fight more aggressively at night with night vision goggles, unmanned aerial systems, and human intelligence to strike the enemy without further endangering our warriors or the innocent. Even with our technology advancements over the decades, the common theme and bond with all who rest here today, mission always first and never leave a brother or sister behind. So today we honor that. Wisdom tells us we've changed, but so has our enemy, whether it's a combatant on foreign soil or the natural disaster stateside. Fortunately, as we evolve, the lessons learned from the past, we value the present and the future insights to remain an elite fighting force, regardless of the conflict. When others are told to run away from the threat, those of us who wear the uniform instinctively run toward the threat. Not because we're foolish, but because that's what we're committed and trained to do, which is to help our fellow citizens and soldiers without question. Those who wear the uniform carry the defending weight of the nation on their shoulders. These headstones before us tell a story, not just about the soldier's faith, the unit, or who or she, or his or she's birth and death date, but most importantly, their name. With just a few perfectly laid out characters on the headstone, it tells an incredible story, one that connects events, moments, and personal reflections to that family member or friend who say or whisper their name while we honor them on this day. Let's always remember their names. To the warriors out there, thank you for your unwavering support and family collaboration for us in our time of need. Whether it's dealing with the day-to-day activities, you were there. When your warrior needed words of encouragement and strength, you were there. When your warrior needed to make sense out of their sacrifice, you were there. Your support and commitment to us in uniform has not gone unnoticed, and we will always be grateful. All gave some gave all. Thank you for being there. There are those who choose not to serve. That's okay. You still provided support in other ways that enable us to prepare, train, and execute our mission for the benefit of all. Together we make up the collective whole, and the nation remembers your service. This collective whole has responded to earthquakes, wildfires, and floods, not only in California, but across this great nation. Our efforts have saved countless lives and have prevented significant loss to property. We stand trained, capable, and willing to carry out our assigned missions accurately, professionally, and timely. We come from all walks of life, ranging from medical practitioners, teachers, firefighters, law enforcement, legal professionals, mechanics, business owners, and yes, homemakers, to bear the unpleasantness of being away from home with loved ones left behind without regard to self. That's what it means to be a warrior. In closing, there are some who question our motives, our discipline, and rule of law. To naysayers and pessimists out there, we remember the past, appreciate the present, and embrace the future with full optimism and reliance on wisdom. We are all part of something bigger than our individual selves, and to that end, we proudly carry the torch of freedom for future generations. This journey we call life is very brief. There will be disappointments, celebrations, and lessons learned. But through it all, you mustn't become complacent nor get discouraged. Learn from those who have gone before us and those still here. Those sacrifices made yesterday, today, and tomorrow by our warriors should never be taken for granted, and we'll learn from them. So today, we remember our heroes whom we'll never forget and the wisdom they shared. Army strong. God bless you. God bless the United States of America, and God bless our military. Thank you. Field of Honor Memories. Call out our names as the years go by. Remember us, and we will never die.
With all the work down here at Oak Hill, we're seeing so many things that have something to do with Memorial Day. This happens to be the Field of Honor. And please reflect and take a look at all the beauty that's around here for families to come and visit. They're honored to have their loved one buried here. I think it's great.
Hello, my name is Robert Wallinger. I'm the general manager here of Oak Hill Funeral Home and Memorial Park. On behalf of the management here at Oak Hill, first of all, for those who are here and for those home watching this presentation and ceremony and remembrance from the safety of their homes, we thank you for joining us. We have remembered and paid tribute to our fallen heroes laid to rest here at Oak Hill for over 100 years. The cemetery, established in 1839, continues to be the largest cemetery that lays to rest the most veterans in the county. We are grateful and honored to be the caretaker of over 15,000 heroes and veterans. Today's remembrance could not have happened without the help and dedication of groups of people within and outside of Oak Hill. I'd like to take this moment to acknowledge them. Members of the Memorial Day Committee, Ray Watts, Jean Fanucchi, Adele Button-Bell, Dennis Fogarty, Bob Cadillac, Mike Hennessy, and Rose Herrera of the United Veterans Council. James and Carolina Brown of the Wine Country Marines, Doug and Tina Bowles of Eaglefield Foundation. I'd like to thank and acknowledge the American Legion for placing the flags along the memorial walk. This has been a tradition here at Oak Hill for over 80 years. And I'd also like to thank the staff of over 140 dedicated men and women of Oak Hill who on a daily basis take the care of this cemetery in a manner that befits the veterans who are here. For this is sacred ground to us. Thank you to you all. We are all living in challenging times. We have a responsibility to those who gave their lives to allow us to continue to live in this great country, to guide and teach our youth of the values and the patriotism these courageous heroes fought and died for. Today, we remember and we honor those who have fallen and live on through us. Thank you also to those who are still representing us and are still fighting our fight for our freedom and way of life. Thank you.
I hope you sat back and enjoyed the whole memorial special we were able to produce for you guys and gals today. And hope you get a good feeling about Memorial Day and the veterans. And it's just one of those very special days that really mean a lot to me and everybody that was here to help produce this particular event on. This could not be done without Robert Wallinger, who actually runs Oak Hill Dignity. And these people were fantastic to set everything up. All the flags you see and all the help it takes to put this together. There's so many people to thank. James Brown, couldn't get done with all the military assistance he has done to put this production on. And there's just a lot to it. And the UVC with Ray Watts and his team, I'm telling you, everybody has been fantastic. And they do all this as volunteers. They do this for you. They do it for everybody out there. And they're really just, their hearts are so set with the veterans situation. And they really will help anybody that's out there that needs any help or service. Special thanks to Adele Button-Bell. I left her name out toward the last because she has been just fantastic. There wasn't an email wasn't returned. There was an email that didn't get out that helps this production go on. And Adele, personally, from Estelle, the director of the show, and the camera gal, the editor, Estelle makes this thing work. Thank you very much, Adele, for all your hard work. God bless everybody, and hope to see you next time.